Hi everybody, welcome to Canyonview. Your swim time at the lake is going to be amazing. And there's a few things that you need to know to both have fun and be safe. We want you to bring everyone who's going to swim to the lake at the beginning of day one swim time so that they can all hear the orientation rules at the same time. Everybody at the lake will be required to be in a group of 2 or a group of 3. Buddies need to stay together in each one of the individual zones, the deep end, the kayak zone, the shallow end, the water slide zone, or also the canoes and paddle boats as a zone. Wood cookies need to be placed on the buddy board in their pairs or in their trios, and that's going to help us count the number of people in the zones and identify whose buddy is who, and we'll be able to quickly see if somebody is missing. Please make sure that you have your wood cookie and your buddy before going to another zone. You may hear lifeguards blowing a whistle. When a lifeguard blows a whistle one time, that means to stop and look at the lifeguard and then listen and do what they say. If a lifeguard blows 2 whistles, that signifies a buddy check. Get next to your buddy. High five them and hold your hands in the air and stay like that until the lifeguard has had the opportunity to count everybody and tells you to go back to swimming. If each of the buddies are watching out for each other and the lifeguards are watching and you're watching too, that's as safe as we can make it. If a lifeguard blows 3 whistles, that means that you need to stop right where you are and pay attention to what the lifeguard is telling you to do. That means also that a lifeguard is entering the water to go rescue someone, and it's a serious situation. The lifeguard might tell you to stay put, but it also might be where the lifeguard tells you to immediately exit the water while they perform the rescue. At the deep end of the lake, you can go on the rope swing, the diving board, or even jump off of the dock. In order to be in the deep end zone, you do need to pass a swim test. The swim test will be taken one at a time with our lifeguards. We'll have you swim from the dock to the diving board, stay on top of the water, and don't stop. After they've passed a swim test, they'll get a swim test bracelet so that we know who has passed. Off of the dock itself, there's a red line and a green line. Green means go, and red means no. It's okay to jump off of the green sections because they're deep enough to handle those dives. Our lifeguards are in charge of watching the safety and surveillance of the water or for rescue, but they can't man the individual stations that the kids are going to interact with. One adult is going to need to be stationed at the entrance to the deep end area, or right here at the buddy board. Their job is to collect wood cookies if your group is using them. They will have a swim test bracelet you will put on each of your swimmers that pass the test. Please don't allow anybody to come into this deep end area that is not already swim tested, unless they are themselves going to take the swim test at that moment. You're going to need to provide one adult to be at the rope swing. Their job is to make sure that the kids go one at a time and don't go again until that swimmer comes back to the stairs. Don't give the rope to the next swimmer until it's actually safe for that swimmer to go. Have people who are waiting for the rope swing to wait at the 4x4 post that is painted white. Have each swimmer show us that they're safe to go off the high platform. They can do that by going off the lower platform 3 times without skimming the water. We also don't want people to go up onto the top of the tower until it's actually time for them to go off of the tower. With the diving board, we want them to go one at a time, and once they're in the water, to swim directly back to the stairs. You can see 3 stairs above the water, but there's actually 8 stairs in total. Once that swimmer is at the stairs, we can send another swimmer off of either the rope swing or the diving board, and it's best to alternate so that they're safer in the water. We want the diver to jump off of the diving board beyond the red line so that we know that they're in deep water. Go forward and straight out from the diving board and not to the side. Backwards, inwards, or gainers are not allowed, so if you know what those are, don't do that, but if you don't know what they are, that's okay too. You don't have to pass a swim test in order to be over here. There's an 18-inch drop-off as you enter the zone, so make sure that you step off of that nice and easy. You do need to stay within the ropes also. You will need to put an adult at the buddy board also. The job of the person down here is to collect the buddy's wood cookies and place them on each of the pegs, just like we described earlier. One position that you need to put an adult at is at the top of the water slide. It's going to be their job to invite a swimmer to come up onto the deck one at a time, and they need to go down the center lane. Once the swimmer is in the water, they need to swim directly to the stairs and exit. Once the swimmer is at the stairs, we can send another swimmer down the water slide. There's a buddy board right next to us also for you to take their wood cookie. Make sure that each person that goes down the water slide has already been swim tested and is wearing their swim test bracelet. Make sure that people go down the ladder safely. You need to have them face the dock and go down backwards. For canoes and paddle boats, you don't have to pass a swim test, but you do need to wear a life jacket. A good fit means that it's tight on their body and doesn't come up over their ears. So if we look at this jacket and we were to buckle it and pull it as tight as we can pull this jacket for him, it is still too big and it's not the right fit for him. Another option is a more generic life jacket. This will just fit over their head and the strap will fit around their body. You need to make sure that the strap is level on their back and then tighten the strap. And that will help keep them safer in the water. One area that you need to station an adult is at the kayak zone over at the boathouse. But also here at the canoe and paddle boat area on the dock. Their job will be to take wood cookies if your camp is using those, place those wood cookies in their buddy pairs or trios on this buddy board, fit life jackets, and also launch and recover boats. When you're in the boats, we ask that everyone stay seated. Please don't play bumper boats because that's dangerous. Don't splash people that don't want to be splashed. Don't rock or tip the boat, especially if that's uncomfortable for someone else in your boat. The safest way to put people into a canoe is to start with the person in the back of the boat. Put one hand on each of the rails and put your foot on that center strap so that you're balancing yourself like a tripod. In order to have people get out of a canoe at the dock safely, you do everything in reverse order. Make sure that you are in a stable position on the dock and hold the rails of the boat. Instruct everyone to stay seated until you tell them to get up one by one. You should instruct the person in the front of the boat to stand up on that center strap and exit first, and then the middle person, and then the rear person. For the kayak zone, you do need to pass a swim test. Life jackets must be worn. Lifeguards are the only ones that are allowed to be on the docks without a life jacket, with the exception of the deep end dock. Once we have a swimmer, we'll give him his paddle and we'll launch the boat back carefully. He can paddle around anywhere in the kayak zone, but he does need to stay in the boat. In order to bring a kayaker back onto the dock, have him paddle right here in front. Make sure that you grab a hold of the boat so you can steady it for them. Tell them to remain seated, take the paddle away, and go ahead and come up onto the dock now. The rescue equipment down at the lake, like the backboard or any of the throw rings, are very important for our safety. It's not permitted at all for anybody to touch that equipment or take it off the rack or play with it for any reason. It needs to always remain readily available in case we need to use it for an emergency. Now that we've covered all the rules and details that you need to know of being down at the lake, we hope that you have a wonderful swim time and that everybody is safe the entire time. Thanks for coming out.